Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey everyone. Gayatri's connection seems to be.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you.
Ah, hello, everyone. We are back in doing this after a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but we have got a very interesting session today, and it's gonna be a pretty different from what we have been doing. We are not gonna build something, but it's more about me just asking questions to Utkarsh because he's been doing a lot of fun stuff with AI, and I thought that would be a cool thing for us to see how to do it. And it has a lot of use cases that each and every one of you can use. Maybe if you're building apps, you're white coding, or if you just want to build an NFT collection, right? So that's what we're going to do today. We'll take some time to let people start joining in. We've just gone live. So let's take like 2 3 minutes for that.
Sure. I think meanwhile I can share my screen and let's have list down all the things that we are going
Yeah.
to talk about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So basically, recently did
Can you share it?
10K NFT collection. Is my screen visible?
No.
No. Oh, someone has to push it up. Do you have those capabilities?
No, it's
Those
coming up.
power? It's coming up. Yeah. With Gayatri, Pradzi, Rahul, and Akshay, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about that. This collection was a bit unique on how we wanted to leverage most of GPT-4o features, right? Where it has consistent image generation, right? Um,
Yeah.
used GPT 4o for other projects to create like assets, game assets, right?
Yeah.
Make sense? Is there anything else you want to cover?
Yeah. I think mainly using GPT-4 to create game assets, or also on how do you just set up the whole server for the NFT, like when we are doing the 10K collection, so many assets we are generating. How do we go about setting up the server and everything like that?
Sure, sure. So yeah, let me know when to start. Till then, we can just show this, right?
I'm just seeing how many people have joined.
No worries.
And we have about 26 people. I think we
Make
can start.
sure I present not this, but something else.
Okay, I think let's start. Let's start with us showing what did we make, right?
Mhm. Cool.
You want
I think let's do that then. So,
actually?
farcaster.com. Yeah. Oh, it's Farcaster. Oh, what is cool?
I,
Uh, so we are here, right? So let me just.
you have shared the wrong screen.
Oh yeah. Wait, let me just show everything. Then why not? Cool. So here we are, right? So this is what we built, and It all started with Pratyush sharing this idea of like creating some generations, right? And that was super interesting to me because what I was thinking, looking at it and seeing a like it is using different textures, but we are doing it in bulk, right? I'm not sure if I can find that particular initial
This is
thing.
the
I think
initial. Yeah.
this was the one, right? So it's basically one consistent pattern getting generated in different textures, right? So I reached out and asked like, hey,
Textures
how is
and
it
designs. Yeah.
exactly, right? How it is working. So he showed like they were going in a different path, right? They had like a base, like I think you can see that base here
Yeah.
itself.
Which is the Farcaster
Uh,
logo.
Yeah, it's
One.
a Farcaster logo. They just pasted it and asked it to make it more 3D, right? So I think I can show that cursor. Okay, making sure I'm not leaking anything, but yeah, uh, there is a base, arch basis, right? It looks like this, right? And now the thing in the top, like it's better to have that as a in image input rather than asking GPT to hey add a Bitcoin logo there, right? So we had these number of variations on base level, right? So I was like, why don't we have like a script where we generate these with different patterns, right? So we
Yeah.
just ran a script and we were looking into how this actually ends up. And soon we actually stumped into a problem where it was generating same images again and again and again, right? It was very familiar images. So that's where we have to work on our prompts, right? So how the
Okay. I
whole
think let's go steps like little slow,
step by
right?
step.
Yeah. I think
Sure.
so. The first thing is if you're thinking of an NFT collection, you first get a base prompt or some a base thing done, which you can do with just GPT, right? Like you can just open OpenAI and start giving your idea. So the base over here, how they came up with was they gave the Farcaster logo, made it 3D, and added to uh, like kind of eye kind of a thing, which is basically the pro logo on top of it, right? So that was the base. That is what they started with.
Exactly. So if you go look into any NFT collection, there is always like some commonality
Yeah,
on base, right? So the base is the same. You have unique features here and there, right?
right.
So in this concept, there are two unique features. One is the texture on top of it, and the second is like what other logos are we introducing to the
Makes sense.
image, right?
Makes sense.
So now this was all like this was like Figma work, right? Getting it
Yeah.
done, adding one check here and another thing here, right? This was just to commemorate like Farcast launching Pro users. So that's why there is a tick here, and then there is other
The
communities like prominent
community.
communities
Right.
from Farcaster, right? So we started generating some images, right? And it was good at first, right? There is like few of them where like it was leaking in the background, which we didn't want it, right? But most of them were looking solid. We were surprised sometimes like how good it is doing. But it was started to generate like same images, like similar images again and again. And after a point, like same to same textures, right? There is no randomness if you give the AI model the same prompt, right? And since we have to generate like 10K like of these images, we
Yeah.
have so we have to figure out like how to create more and more randomness, right? So what we did from there is like we started creating batches, right? So we have like 10K NFTs, right? Let's do 10 of 1K, right? 1K batches,
Mm-hmm.
total 10, right? So we reach 10K, right? So, and then I wanted to keep monitoring what prompts we are generating and then go, because the image generation was 10 cents, right? For 10K project, it's going to be like almost 1K USD, right? In just generation. This is not just prompt generation. This is just image generation, right? So we actually went to like act, because we were testing things around. It leaked like twice of this, right? 2K approximately. But yeah, so we at this point we split the script into split the process into two scripts, right? One is generate prompt, right? So what
Yeah.
is happening here is it comes with it, right? This is basically this is the command that runs it, right? So I wanted to test the texture that are getting generated. So I added like arguments that would enable me to test if it's going well or not, right? So count five texture test, right? And I'm saving it in JSON so I can review it better rather than just console logging in like this thing, right? And I made sure like after every generation it is getting saved. So each API call is getting counted, right? They are not like getting missed. And I added like parallel. So I like soon enough as we were going like full throttle, like when I was feeling everything is going good, uh, we wanted to work with like different execution streams, right? Running in parallel, but we were hitting rate limits. So that's
Hmm.
why we have to fine tune on what parallel how many parallel streams we can do. Like we were doing five at the time, because the moment we do six it was clogging everything, right? So five was our good number, right? And we were saving everything here, right? So even if, because like credits run out on one of the envs, the whole process shuts. We have the progress so far and we can just do textures 3, textures 4 and move on, right?
Yeah.
So again, coming back to the repetitiveness of like textures that it was generating, what we actually came up with, like Gayatri said, hey, if you just keep on sending the same thing, it would return the same thing, right? So how about you change the prompt that you're giving by adding like some level of randomness, right?
Hmm.
So here are like three prompts. I vibe coded most of these things, so there's not something like would require you uh like to know coding that much, right? But if you're doing something in 10K, you need to know some concepts to guide you around, right?
Exactly.
Like to understand where it is breaking, and if whatever it is doing right now, what is the easiest way to get out of it, right? Because like in between what is happening, it was giving me incomplete JSONs. That was because there was max token limit, right? So I just removed that and it was working fine, right? Understanding the limitations that it can only give you 20 at max and then going from there, right? I was trying to do 50 at once and it was breaking. So I tried 20, 20 was working good. Let's go with that, right?
Yeah.
So it's one call to generate different textures and another call to convert that into JSON, right? This is just some sanitization and then it's saving. Like it does a check, right? If the texture name is already in a JSON or not. If not, it just goes ahead and save it, right? There were different kind of errors that we were facing, like rate limit, authentication error. Sometimes the API key was not validated enough, right? It requires
And
KYC.
You were using Claude for this?
Yeah.
At what?
So another insight is like if you're doing execution, then OpenAI is best, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you want creative work, go for Claude,
Topic is better.
right?
Makes sense.
Claude would give you much better, like much innovative and creative responses than OpenAI, right? Because at start, like OpenAI was very fast to do like very repetitive and even boring generations, but Claude like did unique ones for at least like thousand, right? Even after thousand, it was like getting into repetitions, right?
Got it.
So then we looked into like how we can create prompts that can be broken down with different attributes, right? So we created three things: theme, style, and category, right?
Attributes. Yeah.
And we created three prompts where we are in a way like ad-libbing these three things in the
Mm-hmm.
prompt. And even then we were doing like out of these three, pick one and at random and like use that, right? And how we are doing, like here it is, right? This is like for a 10K project, this is how many of these categories you have to do. What
And
I
yeah,
did,
all these categories also you just generated with AI, right?
exactly. So what I did is like I asked it to create this, and then it created with like 20, 20, 20 each, right? And even then with that, like it was getting into same generation, so I just keep on like, hey, do 100 more, 100 more, 100 more, like add 100 more elements to each of these array, right? And it was keep on adding more and more and more, right? And yeah, and after that every other, like it was hard to see similarities between two uh, consecutive generations at least, right? So there is one like first phase is generating prompt and then saving it to something like this, right?
So, yeah.
It is saving everything, but what I was actually using like the description, right?
Description.
So as you can see, we went to like 42 because a lot of times it was breaking. Like some of them has like six, only six textures, right? And some of them have 100K. So 100 to 1K. So
Makes sense. I think
that's why it
yeah,
is
and I think one thing that we did not use in this project, but with this JSON thing that people can do is actually the key features becomes the traits of the NFTs, right? And that can also be something that you can
ex-
add to your collection.
exactly. So we can like we could have just created some attributes in itself, right?
Yeah.
We can have it like shiny percentage and even like ruggedness and all of these things could have been done, right? But we want to keep it simple, as simple as possible, right? This material type, we could have said like, hey, there are going to be just five material types, right? So if you want to do another project where you have like earth type, fire type, water type, and all the avatars, so you could do that, right?
Yeah.
It is possible. You just have to prompt it in such a way. We have created that prompt here, right? This was something that we did five or six generations on our chat GPT console ourselves, right?
Hmm?
And created few generation that we actually like, and we said like these are how this is these are the prompts that we are looking for. Generate similar, right? And then when you go here, we are saying like, hey, these are the things that we want, like extract these key features and create a JSON and then save it, right? So that's how it was working. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So as you see, texture 2, 3, 4, apart from like them being a fail safe for like one generation, if something breaks, you start with another. I was using them as version control as well, right? I was looking at them as like, okay, texture 2, I had different prompt, then I generated and checking how the prompts are coming along, and then I'm
Mm-hmm.
going into back into textures and see like, hey, how the textures are looking, right? So textures are here. So I was looking into going one after another and seeing if they are generating well, if they are leaking too much, right? Because now you see there is less leakage of the
Yeah.
accent in the background, right? That is because we added more things, right? But you see that there are still few of them where it
It's
has
yeah.
it has shadow, right? So that is another thing I
Mm-hmm.
added. So in future generation that was not there, right? So after we have like generate prompt thing done, right? I think just so we can like see how it works, we can have like one prompt right away, like generate, give me some. Oh, I have already did. Create textures inspired by old comics, Indian comics, with that art style and print accents, right?
Okay.
And let's see, I can just run it here, right?
Yeah. And for this,
So,
you're not giving any base, right? Like this is like an open prompt.
sorry.
Like for this trial thing, we are not giving it any other base except for this prompt, right?
So how the base works is like when we there are two scripts. One is generate prompt and one is generate arch, right? In the generate arch, I pick a base randomly,
Okay.
right? So right now, if I do this, it would just generate the prompt and save it in test, right? Textures text, right?
Okay.
And it would take like a minute each. Like this is not image generation, this is just text generation right now.
Okay. I think let we can summarize till now. I think it's in a lot, right? So if you're building like an 10K NFT collection, we are going through the process of how you can do it with OpenAI, image generation. So things that we covered till now were like first you start with a base, right? Like be very clear on what you want, and that becomes your base. So maybe you want to do a collection on top of Farcaster logo, which is what we were doing. So you create a base of that, and that image becomes your thing that you will keep using to generate your collection. And once you have the base, then you start creating prompts. So for each image you need a separate prompt. So for our collection, what we did was we went ahead and created prompts using different styles and textures, so that we have the variedness across 10,000K,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
right now all we are talking about is we've not gotten into imagery. We're still talking about how do you create those many prompts so that every image in that collection is different, right?
Yeah,
So that's what we have covered. And now what Utkarsh is doing is like just generating one prompt for like an Indian comic, right? So let's see what prompt we are getting.
yeah. So it generated all these
Okay.
uh, textures, right? Whatever it feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And now from there, I asked him to generate images out of it, which is like burn generate as, and this is texture text.json, right? This means like this is the target from which you want, which you need to create, like get prompts from for textures and then generate it, right? So it picks up random ones and like this is how it's generated, right? It feels thoda desi, it feels comics, it
Right.
feels like it is this, right?
I like the go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
The diamond comic, I guess. Arch
This
3.
one?
No, no, no. Yeah. Like this one is
Yeah,
very comicky, right? Now, so like now this one, even though the prompt was related to comics, the base was this Farcaster logo. That's why everything was on top of it, right? Like it did not deviate from the base. So which is why base is very important when you're generating this NFT collection.
exactly. The base is always important.
Yes.
Pun intended. But yeah, so let's go to like generate arch, right? We were getting stuck with a lot of what you can say rate limits. So what we did is like we had like almost 5 people in the team. So everyone gave me their AP. Like I said, like everyone give me your API keys, right? So now we have one API key. So sorry, 5 API keys. So we can buy, like have a rolling window on API keys whenever we are getting rate limited, right? So that enabled us to like from 5 parallel getting stuck and getting done in like thousand generation were taking like more than 100 and sorry 1 hour 30 minutes
Mm-hmm.
to like it's much faster. We are hitting the rate limits much fewer times. So it was getting done in 45, right? Almost half.
Got it.
So it was like from there it was like very easy once like even then I can create like multiple like I had my terminal split into 6 windows and everything was like full hacker vibes and it was working well. It's good to see like multiple terminal processes just working without seeing another. So as you can see there are like load textures which is like loading the texture from the JSON. This is like getting base image, picking up random one, right? This is fetching all the base images, right, from the
From the
folder.
base. Yeah.
Yeah. And now you are like from the JSON, we are sharing everything that is in the JSON, the description, few things like this is what I added afterwards. The background should be white. There should be two badges, check marks in it. Don't add any shadows, reflections, or any other effects to the
Yes.
background. All right. So yeah, I think that's mostly how we did it, right? It is more about like one is like finalizing on how the prompt should look like, right? It's like one process that we did in all our chat GPT console, like and then bringing that information, those prompts here, and then linking it with API. And even then we need to create variations. So creating variations, right? In these variations, we actually ask like AI to generate a lot of these where here, right? The category, the
Yeah.
materials, a lot of stuff. But if you want like more consistency and you want to stick more to the lore, you can actually say, hey, these are the 4 things, just follow these things, right? And you would have like more categorized generations, right? We just wanted to like generate good looking arches with two check marks at top, right? So it worked out for us, but you can do a lot of different stuff. You can actually have like each category and give a reference to that as well, right? Like this is how we want this material to look like, right?
Makes
So
sense.
yeah, uh,
I think one more thing that I think I want to get into is I know like you were doing everything on the terminal and you were keep checking it, but we had a conversation on how you can actually run this up on the server as well, right? Maybe we can just go a bit into that if someone just wants to do this on the server. What can they use? What would you recommend?
I would say once it was like running smoothly, right? There was like we had to delay the launch by like a night, right? And I just left the process running in my laptop and I just slept off, right? In the middle of it. But what it would have like I would have done Alternatively, it's just deploy it on a EC2 servers or like just a railway service and just keep it running there, right? And there were 2 points because after like all of these were generated, I had to like look into all of this and then like push it to Vercel blob, right? We went with Vercel blobs instead of IPFS because we wanted to get things done fast.
Yeah.
So, like uploading into Vercel is what we went with, right? So I could have just created a script that would directly push things to Vercel blob and work on a server rather than my local computer, right? And overnight, it like we could have done things faster there for sure.
Yeah. Makes
So yeah,
sense.
I'm not sure like what different challenges I would have faced there because I have like here I have a full UI where I can see what is happening there, but there you are like uh, basically restricted by CLI, right? What's happening, and that could be like when you're doing things raw, you can get stuck into a lot of different stuff, right? Visibility issues when there are too many files, right? So yeah, there's almost here and there, right? Uh, I think apart from that, everything went well, right? All the textures were looking good. We did like one level of audit, just going through the whole collection, and then if there's something like too broken or too weird, we'll just remove that, and then we like pushed everything to Vercel, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I think so. In summary, if you are doing like a 10K collection, things that you start with is very important. Your base art, like what you want it to be, then you
mhm,
generate a lot of prompts because for 10K to have variation, you need to have a lot of different prompts, and then you just set up multiple servers for you to generate with OpenAI so that it's faster and you don't hit any rate limits, right? I think
exactly.
yeah, that's
The rate
cover
limits.
of this. I think moving on to the next part, I want to get into going from generating a lot of art or like a big collection to generating something on theme, right? That you did with Atlas.
Mhm.
So, like maybe first we can show them how Atlas looks, what's how you have made the game, and then we can get into how you went about doing it.
Sure. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah,
Awesome. So Atlas, we have been collaborating with Jacob for like couple of months, right? And we have done two variations like of a game, and I think I wanted to share like the latest that we are working on first,
yeah.
and
And
then
this is
go.
like an alpha; it's not launch, so all of you all are
Yeah.
getting a sneak peek.
But so this is basically the game, right? And we started with like few thoughts on like how the game mechanics should be, right? The game is like let me just show you, right? It's setting a plan, right? It's basically you have planks and you have bombs, right? And you hit the bomb, you have to not hit the bombs and hit the targets, right? You see like there are like I can see familiar faces here, right? And if I hit them, I actually get them like they get tips in Atlas, right? It has some effects as well, so I'm muting that for now. So yeah, so you have like 60 seconds at max to per game, and in that you can either tip your friends or go for the high score, right? So as you said, as you can see, like I'm here, like six, not very bad comparatively, but I've tipped all these people. Now they can come here again,
Yeah.
and like they can come to the game, they can claim their tips in Atlas, right?
Right. Can you also show the
Uh,
leaderboard?
sure.
Yeah.
So we have this leaderboard, right? People who have given tips, people who have received the most amount of tips, right? So as you can see across the board, like across the board game, there is a bit of consistency, right? On
Yeah.
these assets, like this particular thing, right? And all of these things are generated, like even if you see the things like the sun, these are multiple layers, like this is each, like you generate the whole image, you give it a vibe and be like, hey, I want to generate this, right? And after that you do remove.bg or Photoshop and like have them as different components, right? So
Makes
that's how
sense.
you can actually like create a rich asset game using ChatGPT 4, right? I
Yeah.
think I can show you like one of the things that I built recently, like feature wise, is chat.openai. So in this game, if you hold Atlas tokens, certain amount of Atlas tokens, you get unlimited mm, games per day, right? But if you don't, you get like five, right? Five free games. So I had to create a modal where I would say, hey, you're out of tries, buy Atlas or wait for 24 hours or something like that. So here, like this is me generating more graphics, right? Like as you can see, like I just kept like I started with sharing everything. So it would get like the main vibe on like the art style. It would get like, hey, the game has like this going on, where there's a ball and then there are planks, right? And this is another art style that I like it generated, right? So I was like, this is also I want to go down this route. It didn't went down to this route, but it generated something, right? You see there is a bomb randomly hanging there, so I would like remove the planks, and then this was much better, this is much cleaner, right? So this is like join the Atlas family graphic, right? And then I was like, give me some ideas on game minute that would say, hey, we don't have any more tracks left, right? So now I don't even have ideas on how it should look. I'm just collaborating with it. It knows the context, it knows the game is in backyard, you are kicking planks, there's a football, right? uh, what could be it? So it gave me like this seven ideas, then I was like, hey, why not generate the first one, right?
Hmm.
And then it did that. I just like copy pasting, started copy pasting from here to here, right? And I was just seeing which works, which does not work, which ones are fun, right? And yeah, I just use it because in games, when I used to play games, I loved when there was variations on the same thing. I wanted to get like look at all of them because it shows more into the lore. It is a more immersive uh, experience when you see like, okay, it's a backyard, but you never see the door
Yeah.
when you're playing the game, right? But there's of course a door, right? And if you don't have any trials, you would see something like this, right?
It's
Then there are more generations here and there, right? But it's amazing how well you can create like things like this. You can like we have like plan to create an agent that would just generate social images dynamically, depending on like who's at top, who's at bottom, and so on, right? So yeah.
so I think like what I wanted to mainly get out from this game part was like we covered on how you generate a lot of assets, but I think most of the people will be using chat gpt mainly like this, right? Like if they have apps and stuff, I think it before it was very difficult for you to do this, right? Like you, if you are
Yeah.
a single dev, you could not make such well designed games, or a game which has so many assets. You will either need a designer, and that will take a lot of time. But like if you, as you you see, like it's so simple prompts, and most of the time like GPT is just good that it creates those images. You don't
Yeah.
even have to spend a lot of time prompting it, but it's just about you going there and talking about it. Like uh, I will say this part of like the thing is just to tell you, like it's very easy for you to get started with all of those things. uh, like the first part where we went into all of details, that a little bit more in depth, more difficult, like it takes a lot of time. But if you're just building an app and you just want it to look beautiful, I think this is very simple to start with, right? You just have to go to OpenAI. You don't even have to pay like anything separately. It's just a basic OpenAI thing, and you have all these images which you can just start using, and then the app just looks so beautiful.
Yeah. I think by using like AI this heavily, what I have understood, like how you can think about it, and like where should you focus more, given like AI is taking a lot of this
Yeah.
execution overload from you, is like planning, right? Like if you want, like AI can generate all these images under like 6 hours for you if you plan well, right?
Hmm.
The quality improves if you plan well, right? If you create a lore out of your 10K generations, it would show up in your images, right? If for a game as well, if you have a good lore right around it, like hey, there are planks, there is this ecosystem where people are coming, they are hitting planks, there's this tipping ecosystem. The more context you create, the agents are great to execute, right? You as a human have to just focus on your vision, right, and documenting that, and let AI do work on the executions, right? And even then, you can do a lot of brainstorming with like AI. There is no problem with that, but keep it like don't fluff it up with AI, but have it as a like idea brainstormer. Okay, that is good, but I'm going to write it myself, right? Because if you don't, it would show, right? It's very easy to identify or detect like hey, this is like more AI slaw, right?
Makes
So
sense.
yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think we have about more 10 minutes. So, if any one of you all have any questions for us, you can put it in the chat and we can take that up. Or anything else you have that you want to share that will be helpful for anyone who's trying to, do more of this creative stuff with AI. Yeah,
I think like right now I'm just exploring more on like which model is good for what, right? We are looking into like coding, like sometimes OpenAI does very well, right? But Claude creates these CLIs, sorry, these UIs or these like wrappers on top of it, which is very easier to manage compared to OpenAI, right? And there are different things, there are different frameworks, right? Like identifying those models and frameworks and then creating processes around that is how you can like actually work towards improving your efficiency on your shipping or development cycle.
makes
Yep.
sense. I think I'm just going through the OpenSea for the Procaster NFT, and I think I didn't see all of the images, but some of them are really nice, and I think you can just do one quick glance of it and just see what are the favorites.
The favorites?
Yeah, um,
For sure. Do you want to share your screen or should I?
I am. I am. Can you see it?
Why not?
Can you see my
I
screen
think
or no?
one thing we can also show is that video. Go to my Twitter post, like recent Twitter post. There is a
Can you see
video.
my screen?
Not right now.
No, I am sharing it.
Is it on the bottom? You have to like push it up. I think
Oh, I okay. You just shared it. I don't know how to share it.
I'll just share. No worries. So here we go. So one thing that we have, like I've not leveraged it till now to its maximum potential is video generation,
Video, yeah.
right? So we just created few like added. This is railway ML, right? I just put in some images, like rotate it, and let me show you what it did. It gave me individual, like as you can see, these are all generation, right? All random generations that I have. Uh, so it
Yeah.
just gave me this, right?
It's
And
just so like sometimes I'm just shocked by how good these models have got in like such a short time. Like even with this video, the way it's just creating that model and keeping the consistency is so nice.
yeah, it's like understanding, like from an image, being able
Yeah.
to generate this, like it is doing everything, right? So crazy, right? And from that, we just used an app to just have a compilation and make it something like this, which is like this was like 30 minutes of work, right? This is just testing out what we can do for with something like this, but yeah, right, we can do much more, and all of these things are can be done with API, right? So we can do that in bulk as well, right?
Yeah, I think next we should definitely even check out the Google's video generation. That's quite
That's
nice. Like,
crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy for sure. So you were saying like which ones are good, right?
Yeah, I was thinking
Like,
let's just go to OpenSea and see some of them.
oh, OpenSea, why not? Procaster, right?
Yep.
बेस वाले बोले थे इनको इधर ये करने के लिए बेटा इन लोग अपना ही एनएफटी प्रोजेक्ट शिल कर रहे हैं. Cool. Are you able to see this?
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Like that yellow one is so cool.
This one?
No, the fourth one. Wait,
This
my
one?
screen is taking a bit like it's lagging a bit.
Wait, can I? Oh,
I
I
think
can
it's uh yeah, Procaster 350.
350, 350, 350, 350. Yeah, exactly. Right?
Like that one is so cool. Like it is giving the whole art such a nice.
Exactly. I think in the ones where it is not just like a plain texture on top, but actually creating some changes in the
Yeah.
formation, that was more. I wanted to see more of that, right? Because like all of these are more or less feels like a Photoshop, उसके ऊपर texture डाल दिया and done, right?
Right.
But
Right.
these feels like a bit more, right? That cannot be done just simply by wrapping an image on top of it, right?
Yeah. I think maybe like even on the prompts that we were doing, if we did a little more variations, maybe we could have gotten more of those kinds.
Sorry, what?
No, I'm saying in the prompt generations, do you think something we could have changed to get more of those kinds, where it's
Yeah,
actually changing a bit more on the structural level?
I think yeah, right. Like across the prompt, we have been talking more and more about like textures, 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 and it is
Mm-hmm.
like generated textures and implemented them as textures, right?
Right.
If like I don't know if there was some other keyword we would have used, it would have given us like separate, like some better generations for sure. Oh, this is new. It just it was like I don't care about your whatever. This is it. I like this. I like this.
Yes, it's very unique. We definitely missed this in the audit.
Exactly, right? So yeah, I think there a lot, like it's always nice to go through these. Like I have 10K of this in my local as well, right? As we were generating, it was always like a fun experience going through the like new 1000 generated images, because you like see, oh, this is nice, nice,
Yeah,
right? Like everything looks nice for sure, right? I think what we could have done better is creating categories of like these
yeah,
things, right? More attributes, so it would feel like part of some collection, some rarity we can introduce. But it was like a like again like we shipped this under 24 hours or so,
yeah.
right? It is what it is. So then,
I think yeah,
so
it was pretty cool. Like this one is, it just did not think of the arch at all.
yeah, and I know because and there are so many of these that are not minted yet, because I
Yeah,
remember them like when we were auditing, there were a lot of good images that are not minted yet, right? But this is amazing. This is nice. So yeah,
yeah. I think people don't have any questions.
they're
So
speechless.
I think they just want to try it and like I am there on Twitter, Fakaster by Gayatri. Utkarsh is by 0x by Saab. So if you are trying it and you get stuck anywhere, you can ping us. And if you try it and something good you are able to create with it, we would love to see it. Just maybe tag us or maybe DM us. Yeah.
Yep, yep, for
So
sure.
anything else? Any closing remarks from you?
No, it's just amazing time to just be building. So yeah, keep building. Why not?
Awesome. So, okay, people, we'll see you next week with some other topic. And till then, keep building on this.
Bye bye.